Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm Greg Stanton, Mayor of the City of Phoenix. To my right is Mayor Jerry Weiers of the City of Glendale. Behind me is Councilman Michael Nowakowski, who chairs the City of Phoenix City Council Public Safety Subcommittee. Behind us here today and inside that room are the experts in public safety who are preparing to ensure that we have the safest Super Bowl experience here in the Valley possible, the safest one in history. It is an incredible operation, one that I am very, very proud of. Behind me, representing both Phoenix and Glendale and federal agencies, Chief Harvey of Phoenix, Chief Black from Glendale, Assistant Chief Lively from Glendale, Chief Kevin Cockbrenner from Phoenix, Deputy Chief Chris Stewart from Phoenix, Kevin Killigrew from the FBI. Thanks for the FBI for being here. Our Assistant City Manager, who's in charge of public safety for the City of Phoenix, Milton Mahoney, is here as well. And I mentioned earlier, Councilman Michael Nowakowski. Look, as Mayor of the City of Phoenix, we are preparing to be the very best host community for the Super Bowl in so many ways. The Pro Bowl and the game are going to be in Glendale, and I have 100% confidence the City of Glendale are going to put on one heck of a show there. Super Bowl Central, with over 1 million people visiting downtown Phoenix in the week before the Super Bowl, is going to be an incredible event. And of course, this community is incredibly excited about all of those activities. In the meantime, over the last many months, our two communities, Phoenix and Glendale, working with virtually every municipality in the Valley, have been preparing to ensure that these activities occur in the safest way possible. The public safety effort, the logistics behind it has truly been incredible. So you have partnering together. This is what regional partnership looks like. Partnering together to make this possible includes virtually every city in the Valley. The county, through the Sheriff's Office, is actively involved. The state, through DPS and their emergency management program, is involved as well. At the federal level, of course, you have the FBI. Homeland Security is part of this effort. And some agencies that you may might not think as much of. Postal Security, FAA, Border Security, all of the federal agencies that you would expect are at the table. Today, after we do this short press event, all of those agencies mentioned are going to work behind me in a room, what's called a tabletop exercise, going through every possible public safety scenario and make sure that we are as prepared as possible. They've been doing that for months and months, and they're going to continue to do it up through the game and the Super Bowl Central activities. So with our partnership with Glendale and those other agencies mentioned, I'm confident that this is going to be the safest Super Bowl effort. As I mentioned, over 40 law enforcement agencies, over 40 law enforcement organizations, hundreds of strategic partners, including our utility companies, cellular services, hotels, transportation providers, and of course the Arizona Host Committee have come together on the public safety side of these massively important events. 24 highly trained resource working groups have been meeting for months with subject matter experts in their respective fields, analyzing resource needs, risk, and personnel requirements to ensure our public's safety. These include, and especially include, experts in cyber security. We have hired some of the best people in cyber security on this planet to ensure that on the cybersecurity side of things, we are as safe as possible. All of them will be working together at the Multi-Agency Coordination Center, the MAC, which is being set up at the City of Phoenix Emergency Operations Center. So all of them in the 10 days before and during the Super Bowl activities will be housed together. They won't be a phone call away. They'll be face-to-face. So in case anything happens, we will be ready. They will be managed by Phoenix Police and Fire personnel who is recognized for and demonstrated their efforts working together on large-scale incidents. Police, fire, emergency management executives, incident commander operations, section chiefs, and their resources have been attending thousands and thousands of hours of training and tabletop exercises like the one that's about to occur here today in preparation for the Super Bowl week's events. The team has planned for and simulated every scenario, every possibility The tabletop today is another example of law enforcement training with real-life scenarios. These efforts also include the Super Bowl Waste Management Open, Super Bowl, the Waste Management Open, and all other related events. There's going to be a lot of big events throughout the Valley of the Sun during the Super Bowl. We're ready for the events and make sure they are as fun and family-friendly as possible, and we are ready from a security perspective as well. And I want to make sure everybody watching this understands people will be able to get in and out of downtown Phoenix during the Super Bowl Central activities. People will be able to come to work and attend meetings. All businesses will be open during that period of time. People are encouraged to use light rail and other forms of public transportation. Yes, there will be extra capacity during that period of time. I mentioned this activity, putting on the very best Super Bowl ever for the fans from around the world that are going to be coming to our community, for the fans here locally who are going to be able to participate in both the game and the community-based events. This is what regional partnership looks like. And Mayor Weiers and I are ensuring that our two cities are working as closely as possible so that we can put on the very best events possible. So I want to hand the podium next over to Mayor Weiers for a few comments. My partner on the City Council will follow, Councilman Nowakowski, and then we'll take any questions that you might have. Mayor Weiers.
Well, thank you, Mayor Stanton. And I'd like everybody to know Mayor Stanton and I have been trying to put something on like this for a long time to let the public know and the press know the things have been done. It's just a lot of things going on, so it's taken us a while to get here today. But I'm very excited to be with Mayor Stanton this morning to talk about the incredible public safety planning and coordination that's occurred over literally the last year in preparation for Super Bowl 49, which will be held in my city, Glendale, Arizona, in just a little over 3 weeks. In fact, 25 days from now, if you can imagine that. This is Glendale's second time hosting the Super Bowl, and we are continuing the successes of the 2008 Super Bowl by applying lessons learned as well as taking advantage of new capabilities. Now, I am 100% confident in stating that Super Bowl 49 will be the safest, most successful Super Bowl yet. I can't tell you what the score is going to be, but I can tell you it's going to be a safe game. Super Bowl 49 events will be unprecedented security measures with state-of-the-art public safety technologies. And really incredible technologies that are available to us today that weren't a few years ago. Glendale Public Safety is one of the leaders in a coalition of over 40 different law enforcement agencies and public safety agencies, along with hundreds of strategic partners that have combined our efforts to ensure the public safety during the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl related events. The Glendale City Council and I have been fully briefed recently regarding the planning and public safety operations related to the Super Bowl, and I couldn't be more impressed with the level of coordination and the preparedness that has happened at this point. I'm extremely proud of the men and the folks that have worked, that have dedicated so much time here lately to the public safety field. These folks behind me, right behind me, have put into ensuring the public safety, and that's the thing I really want to emphasize, for the folks that will be coming to our state from around the world, around the country, and even our own citizens of the Super Bowl events. The single most important public safety message that we can convey to our residents and visitors is if you see something, say something. That's critically important. If you see something, say something. Watching out for safety is a shared responsibility that everyone must be diligent in reporting suspicious activity. This includes being vigilant for threats observed on social media and other online forums. And probably most importantly, I just want to encourage the public and visitors of Arizona to join the City of Glendale in sharing with our excitement of a safe and secure Super Bowl. And they can visit, here's my message now, my advertisement. They can visit glendale.gotgame.com for more information. But with that, Mayor Stanton, thanks so much for helping put this thing together.
Thank you for your partnership very much. glendalesgotgame.com.
glendalesgotgame.com.
I'm going to download that app right after this press conference. Next, I'll have my partner on the City Council. He chairs the City Council Public Safety Subcommittee to make a few comments, and then we'll take any questions you might have. Councilman Nowakowski.
Thank you so much, Mayor. First of all, I want to thank the both mayors for coming together, and safety is the #1 issue on this Super Bowl. If it's going to Glendale or if it's coming to events here in Phoenix, safety, safety. And if you see something, say something, exactly what our mayor from Glendale talks about. I think that's the theme. And we really need you all. Need you all out there in the community. If you see something out there, no matter what it is, you should call. You should call the police department. You should look for an officer or a firefighter and let them know, because you guys are the eyes and the ears of our community. So once again, I really want to thank both of our mayors for working together, bringing all of our resources from Glendale to Phoenix all together to make sure that we have the most safest and the best Super Bowl ever. So thank you all.
Thank you very much, Councilman. Any questions you may have? Public safety issues relative to the Super Bowl and Super Bowl related events?
You guys mentioned cyber threats. What exactly are you guys talking about protecting the community?
Okay, and as you know, cybersecurity is a tremendously important issue, not just for preparation for Super Bowl events, but for city planning generally. If you're going to be in the government business, putting on major events or just running a great government, you better have a plan in place for cybersecurity. City of Phoenix has recently brought on one of the leading cybersecurity experts in the country. She's managing this entire effort in a multi-jurisdictional way, all levels of government coming together. But as you might expect, we want to make sure that our energy systems are in place, our electrical systems remain steady during this time. Any government operations, public safety, computer systems, et cetera, we want to make sure that they are safe from those that may want to engage in threats or damage this community utilizing online activity. And so, look, you know, we wanted, you know, the point of coming together today was really to show that Phoenix and Glendale are working so closely together. We're working together with cities across the valley, and we're working together throughout levels of government, city, county, state, federal. We got to be careful, obviously, not to get into too much of the strategies that we're engaging in, because people that may do harm are watching as well. We wanted people to have confidence that we are as ready as possible to put on the safest Super Bowl and Super Bowl activities possible. Mayor, have any comments on cybersecurity, or Kevin, you want to address cybersecurity in any regard? Okay, thank you.
With the recent attack this morning over in France, is there any concerns? Super Bowl has always been a high target for any terrorist organization. Are you guys prepared for anything like that on those calibers?
Well, and that's the reason we're here. That's the reason that they're going to go through this walkthrough in just a minute, to make certain that everything that can be, everything that can happen is covered. We sat around and had a few scenarios here a couple weeks ago, and I was trying to come up with some just crazy ideas, and they had it covered. You know, you'd throw something out there and say, well, yeah, we talked about that, and this would be the plan. And so I have all the confidence in the world in our public safety team. I mean, these folks haven't, this isn't their first rodeo. They've done this before. You know, Glendale hosted it before, and we have folks from the federal government that has been at other events too that are giving us aid and suggestions. So, no, it's definitely a concern, obviously, but I have all the confidence in the world, 100%, that this will be a safe event.
How concerned are you guys with the sex trafficking, abductions, and things like that?
I can talk a little bit about that. We are significantly concerned about that, and when we say we're going to put on the safest Super Bowl and Super Bowl activities possible, that includes the issue of human trafficking. And you know, anytime there are major events, whether it be the Super Bowl or any other major events in which you're bringing tens of thousands, in some cases hundreds of thousands of people to your community, sadly and unfortunately, some of them are going to engage in human trafficking and sex trafficking. And so we have been prepared for that. Working with a committee led by another councilman, Councilman Jim Waring on our city council, working with the O'Connor House, which is a wonderful institution here locally. We've brought together experts in the field, and we're ensuring that that employees in the hotel and motel industry are well trained so that they can see signs of potential sex trafficking and human trafficking, that all of those individuals know who to contact, so that the victims of human trafficking or sex trafficking can be helped or saved, They're working with many nonprofits that are experts in the field of helping victims of sex trafficking so that we can try to communicate in the best ways possible. And the communication is often very difficult because the perpetrator of sex trafficking often monitors the victim's social media or online activity or any phone calls that she is likely to make from her cell phone. And these are very young victims in many cases, as you know, young teenagers. And so we have to make sure that we communicate ways that they can reach out for help if needed and be saved from the terrible activities in life that they've been thrown into. So we take this issue incredibly seriously, and we know that a partnership with law enforcement, a partnership with the hotel and motel industry, a partnership with nonprofits that support victims, that we will be as safe as possible in that regard as well. I'm not naive. I don't think we're going to have a Super Bowl and hosting the hundreds of thousands of people that are going to participate without some human trafficking. But darn it, we are going to be as ready as any city possibly can be to support the victims, get them out of that life, and prosecute the wrongdoers who are victimizing those young girls.
And I'd like to add one thing to that. A few years ago when I served in the state legislature, one of the things that we took up was penalties for people that would do things like that. So if in fact somebody decides to do that and they're caught, and they will be caught, I can assure you that the penalties are much more severe here in Arizona than they are in a lot of other states. So my suggestion is don't do it.
We also owe a debt of gratitude to Cindy McCain. Cindy McCain led a statewide task force and beefed it up even more. So we have very, very serious penalties for individuals who engage in that terrible, terrible activity, victimization. And we also have things in place to support the victims of human trafficking. Any other questions? Please.
Do you feel like you have enough police officers to patrol the event? Or are there any concerns that you may not have there be a shortage, or is that an issue? And also, what's left to do until the actual Super Bowl in terms of operations?
Okay, let me jump in the first part, and Mayor Weiers may have some comments as well. You know, if I, as Mayor of Phoenix, want to have one theme that is left from this event, is that this is what regional partnership looks like. Glendale is in charge of Super Bowl safety on game day, but they've got the full support of the City of Phoenix and City of Phoenix law enforcement, police, fire, Homeland Security, emergency management operations. But guess what else? There are dozens of other cities in this valley. And we as mayors get along very well, but more importantly, our public safety organizations get along incredibly well. When you call 911, they're going to make sure that the nearest public safety official gets to you, regardless of whether that happens to be from the agency that represents where you happen to live. It's going to be the closest public safety agency. It's called automatic aid, automatic support. That thinking in public safety permeates what we're talking about here today. We are full partners in this valley to make sure that this is the safest Super Bowl possible. Whether the event happens to be going on in downtown Phoenix and Super Bowl Central the week before, whether it happens to be on the Pro Bowl in Glendale or the Super Bowl game events in Glendale, there will not be a lack of, number one, personnel, or two, expertise. And oh, by the way, we also have the full support of the county, the state, and the feds. FBI and Homeland Security are going to be part of this as well. So the number of personnel, I think, should not be a concern in any regard. Mayor.
Yeah, and I'd like to add two things to that. If you're a citizen of Glendale and you call 911 for anything, game day, you're going to be treated exactly the same as you would any other day. So our regular public safety isn't changing for our citizens. But I can tell you also, if you're somebody that came here and you were just kind of popped into the stadium or near the stadium, you wouldn't know what city you were in by looking at the uniforms of the officers. You could run into DPS or Sheriff's Department, you could run into Pima Sheriff, you could run into Tucson. We have a lot of different police agencies that'll be there wearing different patches. By going by the uniform, you won't know what city you're in. And by looking at the stadium, you certainly will.
The question, second part of the question was, what is left to do between now and the Super Bowl? And I'm looking behind me. Anybody would like to, Kevin, if you want to try to cover what is left to do between now and the Super Bowl. Kevin Koppbrenner is the lead in City of Phoenix in terms of emergency management. I want to make sure you got a good answer on that one.
So there's been a tremendous amount of plans laid down, and really right now what we're doing is we're operationalizing those plans. We're coming together, we're talking about communication, how we communicate. We're taking those scenarios and talking about the flow of that communication and getting to know and really making the team. And so that's why we do these tabletops, because it builds integration, communication, and helps us identify where we need contingencies. So that's really where we're at now. We're about 90% operational, and starting Thursday, January 22nd, we'll be working together. Instead of our day jobs, we'll be doing this job.
Yeah, any other questions? Mayor.
I was going to say, I can assure you that none of our public safety or the mayors or the council are going to rest until it's over. This is something that's on everybody's mind. It is priority one.
All right, thanks everyone for covering this. Again, the message is we are working incredibly closely together across jurisdictions in this valley. City of Phoenix and Glendale most especially working closely together on public safety. And we have cities, county, state, and feds working together. And as mayor, and I always speak for Mayor Weiers as well, I want to thank the leaders of the various organizations represented here today and the men and women who are inside that room who are going to make this the safest Super Bowl possible. Thanks for covering this.